Hello everyone, and welcome to the Reddit Railway. My name is Victor, and I'll be your driver. Today's destination is r/LegalAdvice, so all aboard! Me and my ex split up before our daughter's birth. There were a variety of reasons for this, one of them being her beliefs. She's an anti-vaxer and doesn't trust science or medicine at all. This sucks because our daughter was born premature and immunocompromised. We have 50-50 custody of her, but due to her condition and my wife's anti-science beliefs, we constantly argue about how to handle her. Well, recently our daughter has made incredible progress, and last year was given the go-ahead to get vaccinated for certain viruses, including chickenpox and the flu. My ex went crazy about this and started making my life a living hell. She also threatened to take me to court. Around this time, I also got a new job that paid considerably more than my old one. When this happened, I decided I wanted to move my girl into a private school that has a program for immune-compromised children and offered to pay 100% of tuition. The only problem, for my ex at least, is that this school requires students to be fully vaccinated. My ex fought me up and down on this, and we ended up in court. The judge agreed with me and ordered my daughter to be vaccinated. Ex had a full breakdown but agreed in the end on the condition she gets to take her to lessen the emotional damage and make sure the doctor doesn't poison her. I demanded the medical forms confirming this, and she agreed. So my daughter finally got vaccinated and started at her new school last fall. Then last week she got incredibly sick and had to be rushed to the hospital. Despite being vaccinated for it, she had somehow contracted chickenpox. I have been stressed and confused as hell since I got the call. My daughter must have picked up on this and thought I was mad at her because when I was visiting her in the hospital, she decided to tell me the secret Mummy promised to make her keep. Turns out my ex didn't vaccinate her. She made my daughter lie about it. Instead, she had been using special oils and salts to keep her from getting sick, and the forms I got saying she was vaccinated were fakes. I called the doctor and it turns out she never went in. He also never signed any forms confirming she was vaccinated. I'm pissed to say the least. My daughter is in hospital because my ex decided to let her beliefs come before our child's health. My ex doesn't know I know yet, and I told my daughter not to tell her. I want her gone now. How do I approach this to make sure my ex suffers? I have the text the day she took her as well as the forms. The doctor has also gone on record saying he never signed them. I'm planning on speaking to a lawyer, but I would like to know what I can do going in. Thank you. It sounds like you've got everything in hand, OP. You have the evidence and are planning to consult a lawyer, so there's really not much else anyone can say. But that's not going to stop me. Jesus, tap dancing Christ, your ex is an idiot. If she wants to be an anti-vaxxer, fine. If she wants to endanger her immunocompromised daughter for her beliefs, nah, not on. And forging medical documents is just plain stupid. Like, felony level stupid. I am going to have to give OP some flack though. I can't believe he actually trusted his ex to vaccinate their daughter given her beliefs. You'd think he'd want to do it himself or at least come along to make sure. Sorry OP, but you're partly responsible for what happened to your daughter. At least you're taking steps to fix this. There are 2 updates to this post, so let's see what happened. Update 1. Well, a lot has happened since that day. My daughter is safe with me and was let out of the hospital a week ago. She is getting better. After I made my post, I took the advice given to me. The next time I saw my daughter, I told her that it was wrong of me to ask her to keep secrets and that it's okay to tell her mum. I also saw a lawyer recommended to me by a trusted party. When I went to see him, he told me this is a case lawyers salivate over and that my ex is in a lot of trouble. I immediately filed for emergency custody of my daughter. I also got into contact with the doctor again and fully explained the situation to him. He says that while he won't be getting lawyers involved, he does want me to submit the evidence to the police and file a report. My lawyer has also contacted the court that originally ordered us to vaccinate our daughter. He gave them everything I had. During this time, my ex started to get suspicious. Maybe it was because a friend told her about a post on Reddit and she freaked out? Who knows? A few days later, when I saw her at the hospital, we had an altercation. She became hysterical and yelled various threats and insults at me, such as that I want to poison our daughter. She said this right in front of our sick child. She was escorted out of the building and the head nurse banned her from coming back. After this, she sent me a barrage of texts telling me that I'm a monster and that if she had vaccinated our daughter, she'd be dead. After I sent this to my lawyer, he said she's what lawyers dream of when they hear who's on the other side of the court. This week, I received emergency custody of my daughter until a hearing is held later this year. I heard the DA is slowly getting ready to move forward with a multitude of charges against my ex that will land her in jail. Update 2. 3 years later. My court battle between me and my ex was grueling, one of the worst periods of my life. It took over 5 months from the time I got emergency custody to get full custody of my daughter. My ex's harassment at the time got worse. She even came to my house and attempted to break in to take our daughter. She was arrested and charged with attempted forced entry. Before she could bail herself out, the DA decided to throw the book look at her for forging medical documents. She ended up spending a month in jail, which unfortunately postponed our custody case. The upside of this was a protective order was issued for me and my daughter. This bit my ex in the ass when we finally got in front of a judge. I was given full custody of my daughter. My ex and her lawyer pissed off the judge by trying to claim that I had planned all this from the start. Apparently, I forced her to vaccinate our daughter so I could use her response to initiate the custody battle. This didn't work. Everything she had done up to that point proved she was a danger to our daughter. She lost all custodial rights and is not legally allowed to contact her at all. My protective order was extended too. I didn't need it as she went to prison a few months later. My ex pleaded out. They dropped the forced entry charge and she got 2 years in prison for the forgery. She was released early due to COVID though. Luckily, I've had no contact with her since, apart from receiving child support. I'm not really inclined to keep tabs on her personal life, but I know she went off the conspiracy deep end. Other than that, she has disappeared from my daughter's life entirely. As for me and my daughter, the past few years have been a living nightmare. We moved to a new state and I had to put her into online schooling, but our lives are great. Amazingly, my daughter was able to get the COVID vaccine only a month ago and is cleared to go to physical school once the summer ends. The saga of my life has taught me so many things. I am grateful every day to have my daughter with me, safe and in a place where she can slowly grow and get healthier. It's kind of touching that so many people are interested after all this time. I genuinely hope this is the last update I have to make. Thank you for your interest. Sounds like everything worked out in the end for OP and his daughter, and it was very satisfying hearing the ex got done in. I hope she catches COVID or some other disease that could have been prevented by vaccinations. That would be the ultimate irony. Anyway, we've come to the end of our journey. Thank you for traveling on the Reddit Railway, and we hope to see you again soon.